You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, Sunshines, and welcome to a new episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Shanel. I am your spiritual tour guide and your host today for this podcast. Today, we are talking about Yoga Nidra. What is Yoga Nidra and why should you do it anyways? I love the practice of Yoga Nidra, and I've been teaching this practice for, probably close to 10 years now. Maybe a little bit less, but pretty close. And it is a beautiful, relaxing practice that I fell in love with instantly. And I love a practice that creates self-care. As a yoga teacher, I enjoy teaching a slow flow, a practice that gets you into your body. I love teaching a practice that is really slow and restorative and mindful. I love teaching Yoga Nidra. I love Shavasana at the end of class, and I think it's such a key and important part of the class, starting from a place of stillness and ending from a place of stillness. So Yoga Nidra is also called Nidra, Yoga Nidrasana, the sleepless sleep, the psychic sleep. It is about using meditation to move deep into the subconscious mind, to move deep into relaxation, to create this sleep-like state where transformation and healing happens much easier. This is a heightened sense of tranquility in this place. And Yoga Nidra is a very defined script structure. So I write a different script every time I teach, and this script can vary quite a bit, but the structure of that script is very precise. There is a settling of the body, a breathing awareness. There is a rotation of consciousness through the body. Then we move into that breathing awareness. At the beginning, we're just aware of our breath, aware of our body as we let it just settle in. So that rotation of consciousness through the body, we're moving through different body parts, totally like taking our awareness from part to part, relaxing it deeper and deeper and deeper. Then we move into the subconscious mind a little bit more. We do the connection to our Chitakasha Dandasana, the third eye, the space behind the third eye, our subconscious mind. We do an awareness of opposites, so hot and cold, heavy and light, things like that. There is also, we will move through just visualization of different objects or scenes, and then we move through a beautiful journey. And that journey in the practice is always a really powerful and beautiful way to do some deep healing. Now, the whole script will have healing throughout it. So what I do when I write a script is I always do a little check-in. I do a channel and I see what my students need. And then I write a script based on that need. So sometimes there's a theme or a healing, or sometimes it's even empowerment that happens in the script. But that theme will be carried throughout the entire script. In some sections, it's going to be more predominant than other sections, but it's even things like the objects that I'm getting you to see are objects that are connected to the chakra of the healing aspect that we're working on. Things like that. But that journey is just this really beautiful place where you can take just a healing movement. It's just taking you through this beautiful place of healing and connection. And again, you're not moving. You're not having to do anything. Literally, you are just having this clear mind and listening. You're observing. We're not analyzing. We're not discerning. We're not engaging the mind in any way. We're just watching. We're just watching the images, the feelings, whatever's coming through. We're just observing that as we move through the practice. So for some, this practice can be really difficult. If it's really hard to settle your body and settle your mind, this can be a little bit harder of a practice. That being said, because it is a guided meditation, it often distracts the mind and can help you to start practicing some kind of meditation. Also, doing it in person, there is that group collective energy that helps to settle and to just create this need for being still, where doing it for home, there is some huge perks to that too. Don't get me wrong. You do have the opportunity to just get up and leave or stop doing it if you are getting too distracted. So sometimes we're not forced to kind of move through it in the same way when we're at home. Now, that being said, I will say that being able to do Yoga Nidra, a recording or an online, there is this beautiful thing about crawling into your own bed or the comfort of your own couch, getting in your pajamas, and just being super comfortable for the practice. That is a bonus, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd have students show up in pajamas to my Yoga Nidra, and I thought they were so clever because really they went home and went to bed and they were all ready to go. There was no getting ready for bed. They just left practice and got to go home and go to bed. So being really comfortable is a key component to this practice, because the stiller you stay, the deeper you are going to go in this practice. The more we stay still, our body softens deeper and deeper. Our physical body doesn't have to work as hard when we're staying really still. It is this piece of when we are sleeping, you'll notice sometimes your hands and feet get cold. It's because our body doesn't have to work as hard. It's pumping blood to the massive organs, and it's less concerned about pumping blood out into the hands and the feet because we're not using them. So I always tell people, grab a blanket, cover up. I promise you, you'll be grateful by the end of the practice. You can always kick it off if you get too hot, but let me tell you, nobody ever kicks it off. Everybody leaves it on because you get cold just laying still for an hour. The other thing I always suggest to people is pick a really comfortable position that works for you. This is really key in finding stillness. An hour doesn't seem like that long until you've got a kink in your back or your heel starts to hurt because it's pressed against the ground or the back of your head. So taking that time to get a little extra cushioning behind the body in the places that it meets the floor is really key. I have a lot of students that come with their bag of goodies. They've got 2 yoga mats. They often bring a blanket of their own. They bring a pillow. They're so smart. I love it. Then they grab, bolsters and help to prop up their body in a way that they're really supported through the whole practice and can get super duper comfortable. So that's kind of the practice in a nutshell, but let's talk about why you'd want to do a Yoga Nidra practice. Meditation in general is a really beneficial practice for a lot of different reasons, and those carry over into the Yoga Nidra. One of the big things that I find people come out to Yoga Nidra for, well, 2 of them. One is better sleep. They say that 15 minutes of Yoga Nidra is like a 2-hour nap because we're moving into that really deep, restful state. So typically, and I always say, you're going to go home and sleep like a teenager because teenagers sleep like rocks, right? You can be making breakfast and playing your music in the morning and they're still sound asleep in bed till noon. So when we do Yoga Nidra, it helps to rest the body. It helps to regulate the nervous system. It helps to calm the nervous system. We're moving into an alpha state. We're talking about brain waves here. We're moving into an alpha state, which is going to release serotonin, and it is going to create an inner calm. This is really important in soothing the body. We're starting to regulate the nervous system. We're starting to reset the nervous system because we move out of fight or flight and we move into calm and peace. This is why this practice is also good for reducing the symptoms of PTSD. Often in PTSD, we're in a state of fight or flight constantly. So moving into a Yoga Nidra practice that is trauma-informed, making sure that you are practicing in a way that is going to create safety for you, then you can help to calm that nervous system, moving out of fight or flight and actually feeling restful, feeling like you've gotten sleep. Or, if you're somebody that doesn't relax easy or has insomnia, this practice can help with that. This practice can help even release melatonin if you move deep enough into it. If you're moving into delta, so we're talking alpha is like meditative, then theta, then delta, and delta is sleep. And if we're moving into that state, we're actually releasing melatonin and DHEA, which helps slowing the aging process. Who doesn't want that? As well as cognitive functioning. So yes, we can increase our mental capacity, our memory by just practicing Yoga Nidra. In a practice where we are not using our mind at all, we are just relaxing deeply, we actually can improve our memory. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. So reducing our stress, both physical and mental stress, as well as just our mental relaxation. We are relaxing the mind. We are relaxing the physical body. Now, if you have pain, then it's always important to set up really well to make sure that you are setting up in a way that is going to alleviate pain and not create more pain. But the beautiful thing about a meditation practice is it can actually help to manage pain. Meditation and breath, which in a meditative state, we are typically more aware of our breath, it can help to reduce pain. And I know this firsthand. I had the pleasure of participating in a research project with McMaster University probably, 6 or 7 years ago at least now. And they were actually researching the effects of physical fitness, yoga, and meditation on the body. Those were 3 separate control groups. The yoga group did not do Shavasana and did not do any kind of meditation. I taught the meditation portion. I taught meditation 4 times a week to ladies over the age of 50 that had knee or hip pain and issues. And they did see a decrease in pain from doing a meditation practice, a regular meditation practice. One lady actually had a greater lung capacity as well from the breath work. And I didn't do a lot of breath work. It was just awareness of breath. That's it during the practice. So that meditation practice can help to manage pain. So we're doing physical healing as well as, spiritual, mental, emotional healing. So the pain control, I'm just going to bring up Lamaze, breathing for pregnancy, for labor and delivery. We've used that, and it is absolutely shown in general that breathing techniques can help with pain. The meditation is a little bit different, like I said, because we're not doing breath work. We are simply having an awareness of breath. But in that, having more control of our breath, we're calming our body and our nervous system, but we're also in meditation distracting our mind. We're taking it away from the pain and taking it to a happy place, or in Yoga Nidra, maybe it's your journey, or even just something as simple as heavy and light. All of those things are taking the awareness of the mind somewhere other than the pain. Okay. Healing. healing, healing, healing. Like I said before, when I write a script, that is the purpose. And I would say healing / empowerment, because I feel like sometimes my script is really about empowering different parts of ourselves, whether that's loving ourselves, our confidence, about believing in ourselves, all of those things. It's kind of an empowerment / healing piece of it. So moving into the subconscious mind, we're just in a state where we can do transformation and healing deeper. This is why hypnosis works. Again, Yoga Nidra is not a form of hypnosis. It is a meditation. We are not moving into a hypnotic state. We are moving into a meditative state. They are different. The subconscious mind opens up and allows us to release things or find things that we didn't know existed there. The beautiful thing about Yoga Nidra is, again, we're just observing. We're not pulling things up on purpose. We're not poking the bear necessarily, but we are just allowing this gentle, movement into the subconscious mind and the healing that can happen there. Okay. Lower anxiety, lower stress. We talked about those. So this can be used for managing type 2 diabetes, promoting healing, enhancing memory. We talked about all of those things. Oh, creativity. That's the other beautiful one that comes up, is it can also help with increasing creativity. I think for me, I just noticed that my students, when they're done, they've just found this really peaceful state. I always joke that we need to have a big slumber party after Yoga Nidra practice because everybody is just ready to go to bed. Everybody has this kind of zened out look. They're ready to go to bed. They're just relaxed and calm and peaceful. And for some people, that 1 hour a month is all the rest and relaxation that they get. That is their time to rejuvenate and to reconnect with themselves. And this practice is such a beautiful way to do that. It's healing, it's reconstructive, it's repairing, it's recalibrating. It is this beautiful, easy way to just relax deeply. Now, I'm sure you could do this practice if you wanted to, walking or, in a wake state. But it definitely has a lot more benefits when you find stillness and you settle into this practice deeply. The more you practice, the more you move into that meditative state. Now, another part of the practice, which I didn't talk about when I was breaking down the script, was setting an intention for your practice. So in Yoga Nidra, it is called Sankalpa, and it is basically a resolve or an intention for your practice that you create in a simple fashion so that it can be repeated in the same way each and every time. And you say it every time that you do your practice, and you feed that intention, that resolve with your practice, and you keep repeating that resolve until you get what that resolve is. So some people just choose something really simple, like finding rest in their practice that night. And then sometimes we get into bigger things, being more aware, being more present, moving into intuition or enlightenment. You can choose whatever you want. You're just going to use that intention, that sankalpa, until your practice is complete. So again, we're infusing the practice with an intention, something that we want to bring energy to feed it and nurture it and grow it into something that we are trying to achieve. So another beautiful, beautiful part of the practice. I am so grateful to have learned this practice and be able to share it with others. And I am very excited to announce that starting today, there is the Yoga Nidra Club that you can join. This is a monthly subscription that gives you live, not in person, live meditation each and every month. I always teach Yoga Nidra on the second Friday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do teach it in person for a group, but I also teach it online on Zoom, and I have a lot of people join me there. So that is why I have created this club, because people keep coming month after month, and this is an opportunity for you to not only join me on that live Yoga Nidra, but also to get all the recordings. And currently there's probably 2024 Yoga Nidra is recorded in the portal already that you will have access to immediately. And then each and every month, the Yoga Nidra is going to be recorded and it will be placed again into that portal for you to be able to come back to anytime you want. So if you are interested in joining the Yoga Nidra Club, where we take relaxation and rest very seriously, you can join now. The first month is only $10, and going forward after that, it is $17 Canadian. You can cancel your subscription at any time. Again, Yoga Nidra is taught live the second Friday of every month on Zoom at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you have constant and immediate access to the portal of all the recordings. And like I said, there's definitely 20 plus recordings in there right now that you'll have access to, that you can do anytime. Yeah, I am so grateful to be able to share this, and just I think a membership that's all about relaxation and self-care and taking care of ourselves is so needed in this time. So I hope you will join me. You can head over to my website to check out more details. I will drop the link in the show notes so that you can find it. And I hope to find you taking care of you and taking rest very seriously in the Yoga Nidra Club this month. The offer of the first month at $10 is only available until the end of April, and then it will go up to regular price, $17 every month. So if you want to get in at that introductory rate, please jump on right now and get your spot in the Yoga Nidra Club. Thanks everybody. Thanks for listening to me share about one of my favorite practices, one of my favorite healing practices that's so simple, so easy, and travels with you anywhere you go. All you need is a little stillness and maybe a great pair of headphones that help to block out some noise. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. From my heart and soul to yours. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.